The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 180. Real.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Alert, 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 alert. Hey, high 7.
Check, 59.
Pistol.
Do you tighten up? Let's go. Do you tighten up? Check.
Watch out.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Hey, alert. Buzz.
Mike is 59. I'm going to run you.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I got you.
Real.
Check 43.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
180.
Check 59. Let's go one more. Check 99.
Regular. Hey, Charlie.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Hey, alert.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
47-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm coming. 59's Mike.
Run.
Check 59.
Hey, alert 33.
That's going to be a long day.
Check 13.
From the gun, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Malik Jackson. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Mike, check, 59.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
Check 59, Mike is 59, Mike the 59.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got his man, that's Landry. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
180. Run.
Yo. Peek in.
Point it right.
Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Landry again the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, alert!
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield, finding Green complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A.J. Green, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. It's caught by Sanders. Give him 2 yards on that play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Again, it's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Watch the shift. Watch the shift. Hey, watch the shift. Watch the shift.
Wins to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Mayfield now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's first and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
At the 20-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go. Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, no, no. Slam, slam, slam. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
So they'll run it here on the jet sweep. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
Mike, 20. It's out. 20 right, 20 right, 20 right. Hey, wahoo. 54 Mike, 54 Mike.
On third down, Mayfield. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. Mayfield now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be first and goal.
Good track, good track. Showing it, showing it. Check. Real.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on the
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down again.
They're in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Watch out, watch out.
Real.
Right there.
Hey, Delta.
Right there. 54 Mike.
Throwing, Mayfield. He's got Green. 7 yards there and a first down.
A 7-yard gain. That's good for a Browns first down. 1st and 10.
Mayfield now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
59. Here we go, D. Mike's 59.
Here's Mayfield. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Check 59. 3 bud.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in. About hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
The Browns on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurry!
Check 59. Mike is 59.
King!
Check Mike.
Mayfield to throw it. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Miles Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Landry, the intended target. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At the 31-yard line.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 3 down, 3 down. 40's Mike, 40's the Mike. Hey, 40's Mike, 40's Mike, right there. 40's Mike. Oh, here we go. Oh. Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, let's switch the mic right here.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they'd have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, alert 33.
Mike, check. 59.
Now Mayfield. It's caught. Becker. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing on first is Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, you got 3 down.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
3rd and 15.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Wentz now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. To throw, it's Wentz. And he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
A gain of 12. And an Eagle first down.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 280!
Number 53, Mike 53. Army.
From the red zone now, Wentz. The Sanders has got it complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Wentz again. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now Wentz on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Schmidt on to punt as he sends it away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, exit. Give me that. Up, left. Give me that ball, defense. Back.
To throw, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. That was going to let it go deep right sideline. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
It's now third down and 16.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
180. Check. Watch it before. Here we go. Up, left. Hey, orbit. Regular.
Third and long for Mayfield. being chased out left. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
2nd and 6 at the 6-yard line.
A little more room here on 2nd and 6 from the 6.
Lefty.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit? They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
My 52. So don't say nothing.
Here's Wentz to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he's able to get it out of there. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Malik Jackson able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Watch the run. Mike's 59.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Done.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. That one goes for 36 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A good run by Chubb on first down as he'll get about 6 yards there. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
It's been a long day for you. Hey, check. Hey, alert 33. Kill.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Chubb. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. The defense is saying, okay, now that's more like it.
Yeah, we hear from coaches all the time how they preach a next play mentality. Doesn't matter whether the previous one was good or bad. You move on to the next one. But we just saw evidence of that happening right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. He's going to look for Beckham. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham. 42 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. The try here for the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On first down, Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's what I do.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Check the outs. Check the out. Check the out.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
3rd and 14.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Credit that breakup to Greedy Williams. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 36. Now Wentz. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
53, Mike. Watch twist.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer.
53's the Mike.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
53's the Mike. 53.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Chubb. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check. 59.
Point it right.
Here I come again. Check.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
180. Pistol.
Check out route.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
59. Mike is 59.
Kings.
36.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Browns. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They run it again with Chubb. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is... Run. 59. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
I got you, pump.
Throwing his Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wentz going to throw. Well, this is caught by Jackson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Wentz now on 1st down. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
180. Real.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Check. Lucky.
Pilot, 64, weak.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Eagles' 35-yard line.
Hey, 180.
54. Mike, 54.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
And they will take a knee here.
Mayfield on the keeper.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was Baker Mayfield who led the way. The #1 pick in 2018. He showed why he was so coveted.
And it was interesting because you remember headed into the draft in 2018, the projections on where Baker Mayfield was going to go, it varied. But rarely did anyone suggest he would go #1 overall. And he did. Showed exactly why. It's not just how he plays. It's not just his arm and his vision. It's the leadership. It's the toughness. It's the moxie that he exhibits. And his teammates just feed off of it.
So for Cleveland, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like